Welcome back to Systems Information Projects with Kate Glass. On today's episode/project, we will be covering Chapter 7, IT Sourcing, as it pertains to Francis Marion University. At the time of this project, my contact at FMU did not have any IT projects going on in his department. So, throughout the duration of this project, the viewpoint will be from the philosophical standpoint. Without further ado, let's get started. When we ask ourselves, is IT mission critical to the operations of our firm? Well, the answer is yes. Information technology is mission critical to FMU. And then if we ask ourselves, what would be the business penalty if it failed to get done? Well, all institutions' processes, such as the ones shown here, business operations, instructional activities, and community life, would be crippled, and it would make it very difficult to compete with its rivals. So in this case, and especially if these three aspects were to cripple and make it difficult to compete with our rivals, IT is very mission critical and important to FMU. Can IT potentially differentiate your firm from its arch rivals, or is it a competitive necessity? Well, when we ask ourselves this question, in this case, it's a competitive necessity. And although it may help us differentiate our firm from its arch rivals, our main stance on this is that it is a competitive necessity to help differentiate ourselves. Moving along now, question 3. Would staving off copycat rivals increase its business payoff? Well, possibly. In this case, it's possible, but there is not a way to be certain if it would stave off copycat rivals or if it would not. So, if you look at my graphic here, there is a copy of the copycat, but it's faded, so it's not certain that it will be copied. It's just possible. When I asked my contact, John Dixon, in the Campus Technology Department, question 4, can its requirements be written down, or does fleshing them out require lots of iteration between business users and IT? Well, he gave me a little bit different answer than these two options here. As a quote from John Dixon himself, I believe it is necessary to work with the entire campus population to arrive at suitable systems to support all the institution's functions. End quote. I have to say, I definitely agree with John here, because if you don't know what your campus needs and if you don't work with your campus on exactly what kind of systems would be suitable to support all of its institutional functions, then you could end up wasting time just making a IT creation that doesn't suit all of the population of the campus's actual needs. Question 5. Does our IT unit have the technical chops to do it? Yes, we do for the most part have the technical chops to do it and get it done. And then in the other question that was associated with question 5, if not, can you afford to create a foreign captive center where such skills are abundant? For this, our answer is not applicable, as in we don't have one, because our answer was yes to the first question. And indeed, we do have the technical chops. So indeed, we will get it done, for the most part. In question 6, we discuss doing a project in-house or outsourcing a project. Can your/our IT unit do its entire detailed design in-house before handing it off to a vendor? Well, completing a project in-house is always preferable because, well, we know what we want and we're able to do it in-house. But when we do need to outsource, it is most helpful to engage vendors during the planning process to ensure they understand the goals and objectives in order to provide any necessary components and services for success. While we do depend on our existing IT assets, per John Dixon at FMU, He says, we depend on technical expertise beyond our skill sets. This is so whenever an IT asset that we already have within our array of IT assets isn't there, we have that technical experience, or I should say they have the technical experience beyond the skill sets that are already in place to complete the job that needs to get done and do it correctly. Whenever a company or infrastructure isn't able to complete a project in-house, there is a cost to complete the project by outsourcing the project. And in John Dixon's experience, he says, my experience with outsourcing critical functions can sometimes result in delayed action, whereas in-house keeps the staff focused on the business at hand and urgencies associated with the nimble, necessary environment. So, in conclusion, he definitely prefers in-house, which is definitely understandable because you do have control over every aspect that you want to be in the project, and you are able to be hands-on with the timeline of that project as well and really have it at your fingertips